Hasan, the H3 thing is going to be impossible till you address it. I mean, it won't be impossible. It's just like people are going bananas mode again. Hey, foot soldiers, calm down. Ethan can handle himself. He's debating the Sigma Grindset guy, right?
Do you want a wife with attitude? Ethan?
What does attitude mean?
A wife that talks back to you, a wife that...
What does he know about wives, bro? You're like literally a baby. What the is he talking about? Oh, do you want a wife that talks back? Like, what are you talking about? What is happening? This is derailed. This is off the rails.
Because you act like there would never be a reason for a woman to bother you about anything.
I would never want my wife to call me weird names or like make remarks towards me. Yeah, like I would never want her to say that I'm stupid or I don't look good or...
What? That's like abusive.
That's just me.
Yeah, I would want her to act and speak to me as if we were on the same team, the same way that I would do that for her.
Your verbiage of no attitude implies that women are docile creatures there to be subservient and just obey, right?
Well, that's just an assumption. That's just an assumption.
But it's in the language.
I mean, I love women. Women are the
I
the
didn't
most
say you don't
beautiful
love
things
women,
on this
bro.
planet. I know.
But they have a
telling you
role
I
to
love who I
play.
am.
They have a role, right?
Women and men have a role to play.
Okay, this is actually good content. I can't look away.
What is the woman's role?
It's not. What do you mean? The woman's role in a household?
In a relationship, in a household, yeah.
I think a girl's job is to be the affectionate one, to be extremely affectionate and to be very loving and very understanding with their children and their husbands. Women have this kind of love for their children that nobody else in the world will understand.
I love my
Men
kids.
will never understand
No, see, that's a little crazy
Yes.
to me.
I'm sure you do, but I think that
You think my wife loves my kids more than me?
No, I said that they're different, not more than the other, but just in different ways.
I disagree.
father
with that.
loves-
That's crazy.
What?
Okay, that's fine. A father is going to want to protect his kids, and he's going to want to provide an environment where his family can feel safe. And he's also
so
going
you're
to
saying
want to pass
being
down
muscular,
lessons
like that's not
and
really an
pass down-
active role in their
pass
life.
down lessons,
Pass down lessons.
wisdom to his
Mother
his
can't do
children.
that.
feel like
Everyone
you're-
knows
Ethan,
women are
you're-
incapable
you're
of passing down
40
wisdom.
40 years.
You're going off into places I know that are not a good topic because you're going to go on and explain things that are pretty obvious and uncontroversial. Like you go, I just want women to be like nice to me.
You took that however you took it. I said I want women to be pleasant with no attitude. That means if I don't want you to do something because it makes me feel whatever uncomfortable, then please don't make it a huge deal.
So you think women prefer to submit?
I think women are happier when they know that the person that they're with is going to make the right decision and they don't have to worry about it. And I would say that's a form of submission in a way, yes.
How many long-term relationships have you been in?
I've been in a few long-term relationships.
A few?
But I'm not going to tell you the number.
Because you've only been legally allowed to even have sex for 6 years, so.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
In my culture, we don't necessarily have sex. I'm Christian and Romanian, so
Wait,
we don't just.
is he a virgin?
That's how it works.
What do you mean in my culture, dog? You're like an American through and through. Are you virgin shaming? I want to say yes, but people get so mad. The virgins have nothing else going on, so they get so mad every time I say yes,
So
and then they
like
take it seriously.
When my partner doesn't say I'm ugly, I also like it when my partner is nice to kids and animals. I like that. I like a partner who likes my strength.
So, Olivia, my question was, do you like it when your man, say you have, I don't know if you have a boyfriend or husband or whatever, but theoretically, if he were to always make the right decision and you felt inside of you that you could trust him and you didn't have to worry, would you prefer that?
No, virgins
to the
can talk about
alternative, which is,
relationships. It's just that, like, I'm surprised because he presents himself as like this macho, masculine alpha dog who's so knowledgeable about the world, even though he's a 22-year-old who's only done a bunch of drop shipping and fake podcasts and grossly inflates his wealth in a way to flex while simultaneously knowing nothing about interpersonal relationships.
Asking, you're like, you women want a man that could depend on. It's not as important for men, though, because it's not really a feminine trait for a woman to be dependable.
No, women have to be dependable, but
okay, so what's the difference?
Probably they're just dependable. They're just dependable in different ways.
European.
I would imagine.
European. That's how they
I,
think.
for one, don't think that the whole submitting thing is right.
Not American.
I prefer
'cause it's
partnership.
much European.
You ladies prefer partnership, that's fine. Then just imagine a scenario where you're with a husband and for every single decision that he has to make, he's going to come and consult you.
It is a matter that's very consistent with the way these people view the world, where they don't think women are equal partners in a relationship because they don't think women are equal in general. It's just reinforcement of misogyny with a different banner.
You're getting these men and you're telling them that this is the alpha way of life. Presenting your opinion in a way that I think is harmful to men specifically, actually, because women know better, right?
Ethan, let me just say something. Most of your content, most of your audience used to be men, and now it's not. Now a majority of your audience is women. My audience looks up to me. They're inspired by me, and I've had conversations with plenty of men older, younger, same age, that have said that I've changed their life for the better. They feel happy. They feel better about themselves, and they're in a much better position in life right now because I've inspired them.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If your life has been changed by watching this dude, your life is not changed.
Your audience list used to literally be mostly men.
Okay.
And over time, men have stopped watching you because they don't look up to you in any way. You're not a role model to these men. They don't want to consume your content. To give you an example, I've been in a car with someone before that he stopped me, and he works for me now, but he said, Sebastian, my father was never around. I don't have any older brothers. I don't have anyone to look up to.
Dude, you're 22. What is he saying?
That I've ever looked up to. You have made me such a better person. I've gotten in the gym. I've taken care of myself. I've started a business, and now I'm making good money.
He's literally just saying, I'm super sick and you're dumb. Like, that's all he's saying.
I don't think that you would even disagree with me when I say that I'm a much better role model at 24 for men than you are at 37.
Okay, good. Because a lot of men look up to you, you're more qualified to talk about what's good for men.
I didn't say that. I said I'm a better role model for men.
Because I have a more women audience. Is that,
no,
but that's what you
men
said.
Don't look up. You used to have a more male audience, and now you don't.
I alienated.
And that's because men have no reason.
His audience has grown since then, though. So if anything, he retained a big chunk of the men that used to watch him, and then on top of that, more women watch him now. That doesn't mean he lost the male viewership. But again, this guy is one, too young, too stupid to understand this thing that he's stating, which is that Ethan's audience has grown to include more women, right? He's literally just hyper focusing on anecdotes. He's like, oh, well, in my circle, they don't like you anymore. So men don't with you.
You don't promote exercise. You spread a bunch of hate. You don't love anyone. Your whole entire worldview is negative. You don't spread love. Like,
wait, what do you mean I don't love anyone?
I meant to say that you don't spread love.
Only
like, your
I'm
entire
about the pinks.
worldview is extremely negative. Do you disagree? Like, do you?
No,
do
I
you
do.
really
I do.
like,
I think you can observe that I criticize a lot of people, right? But the people I criticize, I think, are very worthy of being criticized. For example, Andrew Tate is just doing untold damage to a whole generation of men. Do you think that there's other ways to inspire people other than going to the gym and doing drop shipping and that?
How do you think that you inspire people, Ethan? Do you believe you inspire people?
I wouldn't presume to do that much, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of hubris to look at yourself as a savior like that.
Yes, it is. That's a good take. Dude, this kid literally just has the TikTok boy haircut and that's it. And the algorithm gave him the 15 minutes of fame at a certain point when he said something completely unhinged, and it inflated his sense of self-worth to an unimaginable level where he literally thinks he's like God's own gift to mankind. That's it. I'm not saying you're being ageist or whatever, but I think saying he's too young is kind of dumb. Weren't you trying to make a difference in the world at his age? By the way, I don't agree with this guy. I don't agree with your take either. No, I'm not being ageist at all in that regard. When you're 22 years old, like I was 22, okay? I was 22 9 years ago. And let me tell you something. I was a dumbass, okay? I had a decent perspective on life, certainly, but I had a lot of growing to do. I'm still a dumbass. You can tell that his brain is not fully developed yet because of the things he's stating. Like, you can tell. His arrogance, it's all, if anything, it's a cop-out from me to him. I'm giving him an exit ramp, saying, oh, he's just young. Do you understand? That's the main point here.
Your brand is dying.
Why would that get a lot of likes?
And it's going to continue dying because of the type of content that you push.
It's not really dying, though, is it?
There's a lot of yes, it is.
In what way is it dying?
Bro, why does this guy think he could tell Ethan about what to do with this brand? It's like what do you know? You have a fake podcast. What are you talking about?
Sebastian, can I pull up your analytics? You're on the down curve, brother. Your career is going down to the fucking dumps, bro. I mean, that is a colossal dump, bro.
That's off the cliff.
And I mean, at least mine is like pretty flat, but that is treacherous, man. You are going down like the Titanic, brother.
Yeah, my analytics are down because I haven't posted content. I posted a video with my mom that I knew wouldn't do well, and I just posted a video yesterday. So yes, I know my analytics are down.
He got sad about that.
Because I've been getting a lot of heat on the internet, so I just wanted to take a step back.
Tough being out there as a creator, huh? I don't think you're gonna make it. If you have thin skin like that. I mean, that's why it's going down.
I think I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine.
Our viewership is phenomenal. I don't know if what you know is normal viewerships for a podcast, but regularly getting 1 million views on a podcast, and we post 4 or 5 times a week, that's pretty impressive, don't you think? Like, clearly people like the show.
Sure, yeah.
Checkmate
yeah,
atheist.
You got viewers.
Here's one about what girls can't wear.
I think she can and cannot wear. Well, it depends. I mean, fashion is so broad. So I'll have to see. But if she's dressed provocatively and I'm not with her, there's absolutely...
Oh, he's got the Sigma song, though.
Whose attention are you trying to get if I'm not there? If I go out with her, that's another thing. You should only care about my attention. If you're my wife, there should be no other attention from a man that you should care
Dude,
about.
I feel such a Giga
At all,
Chad,
except
dude.
for
Whenever I
following
hear
that.
funk music,
That's
I'm
me.
like, dude, this
So-
guy's
So
Sigma.
your
He's
stance is you can look pretty when you're with me, but if you're not with me, you need to not look pretty.
No, my stance is you shouldn't dress provocatively unless you're with me.
What's provocative?
Like showing a ton of cleavage or wearing as little clothing as possible.
Wearing as little clothing as possible. Okay, so it's cool when they're with you, but if they go out looking like that, it's not okay.
Even when they're with me, I wouldn't want them to do that in public.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Well, it's a little insecure.
No, it's not.
yes, it
It is a little-
It's a preference.
Well, no,
Great
it's not.
take,
It's-
Ethan.
Well, in
Great
this
job.
video-
Every one of these fucking PUA guys are
Dress sexy
insecure,
and
and it
tastefully
should be
good without
constantly
showing,
brought
like,
up.
It's not insecurity. It's just I don't
It is,
like that. I don't
though.
want
It is. Like, let's follow the thread.
No, it's not.
Because you're basically.
No, it's not.
You're
Would
a
you
role-
want Would you want your wife out there?
Okay,
Would
hold
you
on.
want your wife out there dressed like a hoe?
The definition of a hoe, I guess, is I'm not quite sure what that means. But
Well,
you're
just answer my question. Would you want her out there dressing or wearing as minimal clothing as possible out in a club?
what I want my. Well, hold on.
Just
Hold
say,
on. Yeah.
who cares?
No,
Who cares
answer
what my
the
wife
question.
wears?
Okay, because I just want to get your. She posted this to social media.
Would you go out to dinner with your wife dressed like that?
Of course, she wouldn't go like that. I mean, why?
That's you and your wife, your relationship.
No, but I just
wouldn't.
want.
I
No,
wouldn't
say
be
what
okay
you
with her
want.
posting
Say
on
what you
Instagram.
want. I'm trying to understand your point. Would you? Do you think
I wouldn't
she's
want my
dressed
wife
like a hoe right
posting
now?
like
You
that
can
on
say
social
yes,
media.
it's
What do you
fine.
mean? What? Look at his body language.
because-
He's like
because
closing
that's a
up,
preference
even
from
thinking about
insecurity,
possibly
right?
having a wife
Because
No,
that could
it's
wear
not.
whatever the
Because
she wants. The thought of it is terrifying.
Yeah, because-
That's insane to me. It's not your property, dog. That's a whole ass human being.
Okay, and-
It's called mutual respect and trust. That's what relationships are based on. Healthy relationships. That's the foundation. It's about trusting your partner and giving them the freedom to do whatever the they want. That's crazy, dude.
There's no one
Understandably,
else
you
out
can
there
have
who's gonna
boundaries
take
in
it
this
away from
regard,
you.
but his
Powerful.
boundaries are far too strict
I
and
don't think I'm
built on
insecure,
top of
right?
his anxieties that, like, if your significant other wants to show off their body, that means they want to other men.
I just want you to dig a little deeper and explain why you don't like it. Because it's yours. Because she's yours. Nobody else can see her body but
Yeah.
you. Even if she wants to show it, because she wants to feel
She
sexy.
doesn't want to.
Oh,
She doesn't want to.
I know, but you're a role model and you're putting this out on your TikTok. This is what you're putting out. I know you guys have a preference, but I'm talking about your influence on men. If she wants to go out and dress sexy and look good, you're against that.
I'm against her dressing provocatively. She can look nice, of course, but
Because for
dressing
women,
provocatively-
putting on makeup and dressing sexy and going out, it makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel confident. It's not necessarily about wanting to fuck other
you know,
dudes.
what gives them the power is the attention that they get. It doesn't have to be a guy walking up.
Typical.
to them, and that's what
Typical.
gives them the
Again,
power, is
that's
the attention from
insecurity.
other men.
No,
And if
that's
that weren't true,
insecurity.
I don't think that if I have a girlfriend, she should have a desire to go out there and even seek the attention from other men, because the attention she gets from me is enough to
But
fulfill
don't we
her.
all
That's
crave
where I'm
validation?
standing. You should get enough validation from your wife, and your wife should get enough from you. She
The
should
one-
be inspired by you, and maybe if you had a six pack, she would be more inspired by you, and she wouldn't post thirst traps on Instagram.
Okay,
That's such
so
a
me not
stupid
having
fucking-
a six pack is promoting my wife to seek male attention because I'm not hot enough.
Maybe if you took care of yourself, Ethan, and you were in better shape, maybe she wouldn't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe.
No,
she
it's a good
wouldn't. Who knows?
hypothesis. It's a good hypothesis. If I was hotter, she wouldn't feel the need.
Not hotter. If you took care of
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah.
You
If
don't
I was-
have to be hotter.
Okay, if I was skinny and I had a six
If
pack.
she saw you, and you're like, wow, he really cares and respects himself,
Mhm.
and I like his attention, and I don't need to go out there and look for attention from guys in the comments or whatever.
See, don't you see you're insecure? Because I know
It's
she's
not insecurity.
Yes, it is. You are insecure, dude.
That's exactly what it
You are
is.
threatened by the attention other people give to your significant other. You're
That's
threatened.
I'm not
exactly it.
threatened by it at all. I know that there's not going to be other guys out there that can compete with me for my girl. My girl
I
loves
don't
me.
even need to compete.
I just don't.
I'm
like
not
it.
even thinking
It's
about
not- I'm
competition.
not threatened. It's not about insecurity. It's just this is my preference. This is how I want to conduct my life.
You keep saying it's not about insecurity and then describes having an insecurity. I think this kid is really changing Ethan's life, though. He really is. He's right. I knew this was going to be content 10 seconds after you clicked. Yeah, I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to stop my coverage to, like, take a look at this. But goddamn, brother, it's hard to look away. It's a actual train wreck. Here's the thing. This is why I break a lot of these brains, right? 98% of his commentary against Ethan has literally revolved around how Ethan is fat. That's it. Fat man bad, fat man bad, fat man bad. The reality is that like Ethan and I share a lot of the similar values. We have similar opinions on a lot of issues, but then I effectively counter that almost entirely. A lot of these guys and their fan bases rely on looking at shapes and colors. You know what I mean?
That's a thirst trap. That is like
that was before. And it was also pretty inspiring, I would say, considering I was
women can't be inspiring
overweight
with their bodies.
I mean, there's nothing inspiring by taking off your shirt and showing men your tits.
That's what you're doing. You literally just took your shirt off and showed your tits.
That's exactly what you're doing in that photo.
Yeah, but the difference is I trained extremely hard and I dieted properly to get those.
Well, what about the girls who train extremely hard and then post? Like Hila is training right now with a trainer.
Bro, that photo of Hila is exactly the same, if not more inspiring, because she's talking about like losing pregnancy fat, right?
See how silly you're being?
It inspires me, actually.
Don't you see how silly you're being? You go, oh, I didn't know that. But it's like...
It's a different context.
So if a girl posts herself in like tight gym pants and like a bralette to show off progress, is that cool? Or is that slutty?
Look, I still wouldn't want my girlfriend to do that, just my personal preference.
Right.
But it's okay. I understand that if you want to show people your progress and you're proud of it, I'm all about that.
Yeah, but did you see it's a little silly? Because it kind of all qualifies as that when people want to show off and feel good. Like, this is you as a role model talking to men.
Things she can and cannot wear.
Because now you're adding nuance and context and stuff, and you're walking stuff back, and you seem more human, right? But like when I watch
this is how I am.
Well, hold on, though, because that's not what you're selling.
On TikTok,
that's not what you're selling.
Ethan, I'm not selling anything.
Yes,
of course,
you are.
On TikTok,
you're selling yourself
out of context,
as a self-help
and I have no
person.
control. I don't have a self-help.
What happened to being an alpha male, bro? You don't have control of your own social media account?
Yeah, if only he had a real podcast and not a fake one, just for TikTok clips like this one, maybe he could provide adequate context. I don't even know if he has a podcast or not, but at this point, I'm refusing to believe that he actually does have one.
I never said I was an alpha male. I don't sell any self-help courses. I don't do any of that.
You're inspiring.
Okay? I'm just trying to inspire people, sure.
Why do you guys keep labeling as an insecurity because he has preferences in this case? Why don't you guys allow your wife to get piped by other guys? I mean, some people do that and are confident, and then some people do that and are sneako. The main difference in this circumstance is confidence, okay? As far as like comparing your wife fucking other people versus your wife literally posting photos of herself looking good or looking hot, that's a little wild because one is like in the realm of perfectly reasonable boundaries in a monogamous relationship. The other one changes the monogamous relationship, which is an acceptable mode, to a polyamorous relationship. Do you understand? The fact that you think that posting photos of yourself, the idea that you're allowing your significant other to post photos of herself is akin to being in a polyamorous relationship is silly. That's how scared you are?
When I speak in these podcasts, they are intended to be a little bit more polarizing. You probably do that too.
Whoa,
and that's how you get exposure.
Didn't you accuse me of being polarizing and that's why I was a bad dude?
So hold on.
You just said you post polarizing content.
No, I'm saying
He's like, no, Ethan, polarizing to me, Ethan, that means I disagree with you, which means it's polarizing. My opinions, I don't disagree with, which means they're not polarizing.
Ethan, I don't think there's anything very inspiring about you.
Right, I've heard that.
I'm sorry, but I don't. And maybe I don't know
I don't get it.
Maybe there is.
I want to get in on this so bad. I want to be like, brother, you have a podcast that is unsuccessful. He has a podcast that is successful. It should be inspiring to you. You're literally a content creator.
Is there nothing about what I've done on the internet that you find inspiring at all? Like what I've done for my family, like what I've done for young men, what I've done for people, I've inspired people.
So how did you make money? Let's start there.
So when I was in high school, I looked on the internet for ways to make money. First thing I did was I started working at Taco Bell, and then I started working at a car wash vacuuming cars, and then I started vacuuming cars, and then I got into sales, and then I got into real estate. And then after real estate, I started doing dropshipping.
That's a big
jump. That's why I started dropshipping. So I would start a store, work on it, start another store, work on it. And every store that I started, I became better at it. I became more skilled. And
what is dropshipping? It's when you buy shit from Alibaba and then like resell it on Amazon, super marked up, right?
No, you buy stuff wholesale and then you sell it somewhere else. You can attach a logo. You can create a brand around it. There's a lot of things you could do, and it doesn't have to be cheap products. And you know what dropshipping is because you have a brand yourself and you guys source clothing that is not the highest quality clothing and you guys overprice it. So you know very well what this business is and you know how to do it.
You think that my clothing brand is dropshipping?
No, I think that your clothing brand is sourced from China or from wholesale places that are cheaply made with cheap quality, and then you sell it overpriced. When I was watching this video on you, there was a person that was also comparing your designs, and you guys were stealing tons and tons and tons of designs from other brands, which in the past you have also criticized other people of doing.
This motherfucker Googled H3 controversies and he just spit.
Really say people shouldn't steal designs from brands. You knocked drop shipping. You knocked drop shipping because you said that people sell shitty shit from Alibaba and they overprice it, but you literally do the same thing with your brand, Teddy Fresh. And I'm pretty sure that's a pretty significant source of revenue for you. So I really think it makes you look bad when you say that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm going to continue telling my story.
No.
Because I'm not done.
Well, come on. Don't be silly. Now I'm going to respond to that. You watch one hater video about how we steal designs and but you've never heard me talk about that, right?
No, I haven't. This is all I know from it.
Okay, cool. So that's not a very well-informed opinion. So first of all, you say that Teddy Fresh is drop shipped. You say we buy it.
No, I didn't say that. You do e-commerce, which is very similar to drop shipping.
All e-commerce is drop shipping?
Bro, it's like saying Nike's doing drop shipping. He's like, well, they're sourced from the same factory. Like Alibaba and the drop shippers are sourced from the same factory, so it's the same. No, of course it's not the same. One has a load of marketing, design, so many additional components. I'm in the garment manufacturing business myself, so I can speak on it. Of course it's not the same as drop shipping. It's like saying what I do in Redbubble is the same.
Where do you get your clothes from?
Do you think that
tell me.
Good products can be made outside the United States? Is it possible?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so what's your point?
Answer me the question. Where do you get
We source it from all over the world.
Where do you source your clothes?
All over the world. A lot of it's made in China, yeah.
Sure, that's where most of drop shipping products are made from.
Why
Chinese
is that the same thing?
They make a ton of products.
Why is that the same thing?
Because you are just Alibaba is Chinese products. You're knocking
How do you
drop
think we
shipping.
make our clothes? How do you think we make our clothes?
Oh my gosh.
No, seriously, how do you think we make our clothes? Tell me.
I think that you steal designs from other companies and source products from Chinese countries. Your clothing is ridiculously marked up, and your wife has said that it should be worth more.
The same exact Chinese factory that's producing Alibaba products are also producing literally like designer garb. I know this, like I said, even though I don't source my material from China, I am very familiar with Chinese manufacturing.
We do rounds of testing and stuff. It starts in a mock. We work with some of the best manufacturers in the world.
You source your products from China, drop shipping, a lot of drop shipping comes from China, great. So you're knocking it, but you do exactly that. And then also,
it's nothing
like I was trying to
Does Apple drop ship iPhones? No,
I'm
seriously.
not doing this, bro. Like,
does Apple drop ship iPhones?
No, Apple
What's
does
the
not.
difference
And I'm not
between what
do
we
this
do?
anymore. You sell hoodies for $100. You sell t-shirts for $40.
Is there any hoodie worth buying?
Overpriced.
Have you ever bought a nice hoodie before? Our hoodies are super high quality. They're made to last. They're made by the same manufacturers that make stuff like Palace, Supreme, and all the top brands.
Which is where
you think stereotype around Chinese products is overblown now? I know working on a Chinese-built cargo ship that quality's ramping up really well. Brother, China can make the literal shittiest clothing you've ever seen, and it can make the best clothing you've ever seen. That's the whole point of Chinese manufacturing. They do both at the same factory. Literally. They do all of it. They do everything. The reason why I source my clothing from domestic manufacturers instead of China is because I want American labor to grow. I love Chinese labor too. It's great. Labor is labor, but that's the main reason. It's not because I think China makes cheap. I'm not a idiot. I know that Chinese products are literally some of the highest quality, top notch. I mean, I have an iPhone. That's made in China. They have some of the highest quality product and they have some of the lowest quality product. The problem is Alibaba, in a lot of instances, you're going to get the product and you're going to mark it up and you don't even care because it's just about making money. You have no consideration or interest in it. You're only doing it because you want to make money. That's the difference. Teddy Fresh has a lot of labor and love put into it. You know what I mean? It's like an independently owned brand that has grown over the years. There are people who like fashion, who want to make fashion products. There are people who engage in it. One, of course, because they want to make money, certainly, but also because they like it. Such a cope argument, Lamau? No, that is not a cope argument. If they never made Teddy Fresh and just kept doing white glove production like I do, they could have kept making gigantic profit margins while simultaneously making all their money off revenue that they generate from their podcasts and shit. You don't get into the garments business, learn everything, make designs specifically because you're just drop shipping.
My thesis is that you are putting out harmful ideologies, tandem with Andrew Tate. You're riding that wave of red pilling. And I think it's really bad what you're doing. This is what I'm saying. And we can get back to that if you want.
I'm not red pill at all. I wouldn't say I'm a conservative. I don't care too much about politics. I literally just want to do my own thing, and I want the best for me and my family and everyone else in the world. That's all. I just want to be left alone. I don't want you to tell me that my kids have to be gay. I want you to just leave me alone. That's all.
So you think people want your kids gay?
I'm just saying I want to be left alone.
You want to be left alone. What does that mean?
It means I don't want people to tell me like that my kids have to be gay or whatever. I don't know.
Right. Nobody's saying that. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, I'll give you an example. If I were to send my kids to public school, I don't want for my 6-year-old to be exposed to a book talking about gay sex or
But that's not happening,
like
is it?
That is happening.
Really? Where?
That is happening. Look it up.
Okay. Can you guys look it up? Is there an epidemic of 6-year-olds learning about sex?
It's a book that is teaching kids to be gay?
I've only seen this on the internet, so
okay. Well, I don't. Well, you know, there's a lot of people who are scared. I've heard that point before. It's like, I don't want my kids to go to public school and then like they become gay. You say that there was a 6-year-old's learning about gay sex or something, and it's ruining society.
No, I did not say that. I didn't say that it was ruining society. You take piece of information from what I've said, and then you create like this absolute version, the absolute wrong version
Can
of
I
what
play
I said.
something for you
It's
that's
so
related?
frustrating.
Let me play something that's related.
I was tanning and I just overheard some kids talking loudly. They were talking about something transgender, something gay. I got up and I went and I talked to them and they were like 16, 17. And I asked them, I'm like, I just have a question. How many people are gay at your school? Like, how many people are in the LGBT community, would you say? And one kid immediately said like 60%. And I was like, huh? And the kid's like, no, he's exaggerating. And then it's probably like 35, 40%. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like almost half? And they're like almost half are transgender or gay. And I'm like, bro, I graduated high school like 4 years ago and there was like 3 gay people. What happened?
By the way, this is from last year. It says, what the F is happening with gay people? 10 years ago, everyone called them F words, the F slur for gay people in high school. And today, 1 in 6 high schoolers claim to be gay.
1 in 6. So yeah, it's continuing. More and more people.
So do you miss the days when we could call gay people the F word?
No, I just think it's surprising. I think it's crazy that that's happened. It's been such a popular trend lately.
Yeah, but that's not true either, is it?
No, it is.
What's your data?
My cousins that are in high school. I've talked to my cousins in high school.
It's
I've talked to
data.
strangers. People liked that video and commented on it and said the same thing.
Oh, that's data. Never mind.
Gay and transgender these days than before, and I thought it was surprising that there's such. No, 30% or more sometimes. There was such a spike in it, which I thought was crazy and surprising.
See, Ethan got to bust out the left-handed, the number of people who are left-handed. Come on, bring up the spike.
Maybe that it's becoming more acceptable to come out of the closet, so to speak.
Yeah, it's also becoming more acceptable, but it's more of a trend now.
The amount of left-handed people back in the day was really low.
I sent it back.
People left-handed were seen as inferior, and they were forced to use their right hand more often. But as it became more acceptable and people realized left-handed people weren't demons, then the amount of left-handed people increased, and it became steady at what, like 10% or something?
12%.
12% is left-handed. It went up astronomically all of a sudden. Would you say people choose to be left-handed?
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but that'd be silly. Why would you?
You don't know anything about anything, and yet you still chirp on it. Why not chirp on this too?
What was the Turing guy who invented He invented
Alan
computers.
Turing.
Alan Turing.
Yeah, he was a closeted gay man. When he came out, he was like lobotomized and ostracized. And
no, he got chemical castrated, not lobotomized, and he killed himself.
They felt that it was who they truly were inside, probably, and that's where they felt comfortable.
So wait, if it's someone's,
maybe.
If somebody's being true to their inner self, how is that a choice?
They're deciding that this is the way that they're going to express who they really are. This is what they're going to do.
Do you choose every day to be attracted to women?
No, I wouldn't say so. I'm just naturally attracted to women.
So do I need to connect the dots, or you got it?
No, he's too stupid. He doesn't understand.
Let me think about it. Hold on. I wasn't born being attracted to women. I wasn't born with the sexuality. You kind of just figure it out. And then based on the way you grow up in your environment, you go one or the other way. I read a statistic. You can have your team look it up. But a majority of people that are part of the LGBTQ have had like some sort of traumatic sexual experience in their life.
Oh, my God.
Greatly influences their like coming out or their decision or whatever to be whatever it is that they want to be. Although it's a very small portion of the population of them, they are responsible for a majority of like the sexual abuse cases. Like they're responsible for it.
You think gay people are more likely to be abusive to children?
Sexually abusive? I think that's a statistic. Yeah, I think that's true.
Literally, the overwhelming majority of sexual assault that's done on children are conducted by straight people. Straight men. Straight white men, as a matter of fact. It's not even a question. If we're looking at broad categorizations, if we're going to make like an assertion, white men, straight white men in particular, literally get eviscerated in this combo. Okay? Like, not even close, because there are more straight men than LGBTQ members. No, I'm talking like proportionally too. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's super homophobic and actually super wrong. There's no credible scientific study or evidence that suggests that lesbian, gay, bisexual, or trans people are more likely to sexually abuse children than heterosexual. In fact, research has consistently shown that sexual orientation is not a predictor of sexual offending of a child. The American Psychological Association, among other professional organizations, has stated that there is no empirical evidence to support the notion that homosexuality is a risk for child sexual abuse.
So I found a study actually that I read that said there's 4 environments a child can grow up in, right? You could have married male, female. You could have unmarried male, female, married male, male, married female, female. And the absolute best case scenario for a child, the best environment was married male and female.
That's fake. That's not a real study. There is no such study on the planet. It's two-parent bonding. That's it. There are literally meta studies. Like, no shot, dude.
I'll send you the study.
Still, like, let's assume that's true. Like, who cares, right?
Well, you would want your kid to grow up and not.
Well, of course, my kid's gonna grow up.
Not be.
I fucked my wife. I mean, I fucked my wife, and we had a kid.
You wouldn't.
It's none of my. You said you just wanted to be left alone, bro. Why do you care?
You're asking me. That's why I'm responding.
Okay. Let's just do this. I know you don't have a lot of time. Your thoughts on Andrew Tate real fast. I just want to address this with you. So just tell me real fast. Do you think he's a role model? Do you think he's a good guy? Like, I just want to hear you talk about him in short.
There are some things about Tate that are good things that men would want to emulate, and there are some things that you should not. You should absolutely not emulate.
The good ones are obvious. Like, we know he's like rich and successful and whatever, yada, yada, yada. So what are the bad ones? That's what I'm curious about.
Starting a agency and like an OnlyFans agency or webcam agency, I don't think that men should ever aspire to do that ever. Sleeping with a bunch of girls and having like all these girls with you and having multiple wives, I completely disagree with that. I also think that he is that way on the internet, and in reality, he's a lot less aggressive. That's just what I believe.
Do you think he's a sex trafficker?
I don't know. I think that there's a chance that he could be framed. Also, there's a lot of information that I don't know.
What?
I don't frame.
Bro, he took the funniest road. He took the funniest stance to take, dude. He's like, I don't like the fact that like he's promoting sex work, but like also he probably is framed for it.
So in the podcast, Tucker talks about Jeffrey Epstein. He called his brother the 2 days before or something, and he's like, yeah, Jeffrey's going to get out. Everything's going to be fine. And then boom, dead. And that was in like the New York federal prison. Which was
why are you comparing it to Jeffrey Epstein? Do you think Jeffrey Epstein is also not a sex trafficker? What the You can't compare Andrew Tate to Jeffrey Epstein while simultaneously saying Andrew Tate was framed unless you think Jeffrey Epstein was framed.
I believe there are people out there that have some crazy ass power. Tate goes against some of the things that those people agree with.
Bro, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't murdered in prison because he like was against cancel culture, you idiot. He was working with the State Department to blackmail some of the richest and most powerful people on the planet. What are you saying? Andrew Tate is a broke boy. He went to Romania so he could be the Jeffrey Epstein on a budget, dog. No powerful person is like afraid of Andrew Tate. The delusion, it's making me lose my mind. He is so stupid. This conversation is so funny, but it's so frustrating because like he's literally targeting redeemable aspects or concepts, but simultaneously defending irredeemable shit. He's making it seem like he's defending Andrew Tate while simultaneously claiming that like it's actually the sex work entirely that is frustrating. He's literally stating that Jeffrey Epstein was framed similar to Andrew Tate while defending Andrew Tate, which means you're defending Jeffrey Epstein. To be fair, this kid probably idolized Epstein a little bit. Jeffrey also got rich by doing nothing and faking being smart. I don't think he knows enough about Jeffrey Epstein, let's be real. I've just never seen someone say Jeffrey Epstein was innocent. Like people say R. Kelly innocent. I've never seen somebody say Jeffrey Epstein is innocent. This is the closest we are ever going to get to a real life human being other than Alan Dershowitz or Prince Andrew. I've never seen somebody fucking say that. That's crazy, dude.
Do you think he was framed after watching that?
That doesn't provide any evidence as to into sex trafficking. He was just talking about how he strong arms and manipulates women into like working with him.
By
What?
saying-
Dog, that's sex trafficking. You do that for anything, that is illegal. You strong arm and manipulate someone into working at McDonald's and not the regular level of coercion that capitalism already has in its own system. That's slavery. That's it. You just said strong arm.
Can we wrap it up, or do I have to leave?
We can wrap it up.
I
Yeah,
really
you
want
gotta
to
go.
say.
I do want to say
I gotta go.
I appreciate all the time that you spent here with us. We had a lively conversation. We had a contentious conversation. You learned a new word today.
Ethan, you never let me finish my story.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't have time now, but you can watch my video
you
on
cha-
it.
did
But
you
you probably
change
won't.
my life?
You don't think it's that interesting.
You said you would change
I
my
don't
life.
think-
Do you think that you've
I
achieved
don't
your
think
goal?
I'm gonna need multiple sessions.
Oh, he
We'll
wants
have
to come
record them,
back?
but
There's no way this motherfucker wants to come back for more smoke, dude. No shot.
Absolutely, I think that I could open up your mind.
Right.
To what? That like homosexuality is a choice and somehow for some weird reason that it's bad? Open up his mind to what? Like, I need to understand.
As all 24-year-olds,
Not true.
you have hubris. That's your
No.
downfall. You would be so much more open and receptive and respectable if you had humility. Exactly. You need to have humility.
I have more humility. I have more humility than you do.
You see what
That's
you just
such
said?
a hypocritical thing to say.
You literally just did it. Don't-
Oh my God, dude. He said you need to have humility. If so much hubris, he goes, I'm the best at humility, dog. I'm the number one.
All of your content is hateful. How can you
back
go
on
on
that.
and brag
Keep
about being
saying
more
that, bro.
humility?
I
having more
criticize people.
humility
I'm a
than me?
comedian.
All right.
I'm inspiring men. I'm
I
inspiring
tried-
men.
I tried to wrap it up and like finish off on a good thought, to literally be more mature than this nearly 40-year-old person here that invited me to his show.
37.
And you're not having this. I'm already 6 minutes
52.
past where I need
Well,
to go.
the difference of our
So I'm
age
going
was
to
quite
leave.
apparent, but I do wish
I'm
for
going
you.
to leave. I'm going to leave
I
now.
do
'cause
wish
you
for you
can't
to
do
have
this. You
more
just want to
humility.
keep going like a little child.
More humility.
See you later, my friend.
All right, nice
I
chatting.
hope,
Thanks
I
for
hope we can
calling.
talk again soon.
Yeah, maybe we
See you
will
later.
actually. But I appreciate you spending the time and sitting through it all. So thank you, man. Appreciate it. Really do.
That was insane. That was actually insane. Great content overall. Good job, Ethan.